What is up, guys? Today we have something very special that we're going to do, and it has to do with this combo amp. So sit tight, relax, and let's get into it. Alright guys, like I said, today we are going to be working with this combo amp. But what are we doing with this combo amp? Well, I got this amp years ago. Years and years ago. I'm talking about like '01, maybe even 2000. So it's been a good little practice amp. I've been through the thick and thin with this thing, but it just does not work anymore. So what I decided to do with this bad boy is to turn it into a sub kick. Now, what is a sub kick? Well, it's very simple. Sub kick is just pretty much a microphone that picks up the very low frequencies of a bass drum or a kick drum for your drum set when recording. Now, I do have a drum microphone set. And with that comes with a bass drum. But, you know, it's hard to pick up the low end of the frequency with just, or like the super low end. So that's what we're going to do with this. Now, before I even thought about doing this, just to let you guys know, this thing, like I said, as a guitar amp, no longer works. I've tried for the past couple of years just to do some lightweight maintenance to it just to see if it works. I've tried for the past few years just to see if I can get this bad boy to start working again, but as a guitar amp it does not work. So I decided, instead of having just wasted space and instead of getting rid of this or throwing this away, let's turn it into a sub kick. Now, one of the good things about this bad boy turning it into a sub kick is because it's a combo amp, boom, it's already easily to set up. All you just got to do is set it down right in front of the kick drum and off you go. Now, how am I going to turn this into a sub kick? Well, very simple. What we have here is an old XLR microphone cable, which, I mean, it works, but it's kind of old school. You know, it doesn't really work all. I mean, it works. It's from Neutrik, Neutrik, Neutrik. So I got this old microphone cable and this old combo amp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the wires that run from the amp section on this to the speaker, and I'm just going to solder this cable to the speaker. It's pretty much it. Very simple, and if done correctly, very nice, very clean. I don't have anything to put to have like a pad, like a 15 dB pad on here. So this thing will be pretty hot when going into my system. And that's just because this is a 8-inch speaker, I believe. Yeah. Because this is a 8-inch speaker, you know, the diaphragm is way bigger than the diaphragm of just like a regular microphone. So therefore it's going to pick up so much more, thus in turn turning this into a very hot signal. So normally that means I'm going to have to turn it down or even use a pad when running it into my system. Now, that being said, let me show you a little test of what this thing sounds like as a guitar amp right now so you can see that it doesn't work. All right, with that being said, now we have two ends of this microphone cable. We have a male end and a female end. Well, I got to cut off the female end because we want to keep the male end. This is what we're going to be able to use. So either plug into my system or plug in to another microphone cable, depending on how far, it is. But, we're going to use this to plug this into my system, and the female end will be soldered on to the speaker. So without further ado, that's what we're going to do now. So, yeah. All right, guys. So first thing I had to do was strip this wire so that way I could, get both ends ready to solder them to the speaker. As you guys can see, I had a little trouble right there with the rubber meshing around it, the rubber coating around it. And then, as you can also see, there's a copper braided mesh wiring coating around the wires. So had to cut that, and it wasn't working being cutted, so I had to literally unbraid it to get it off. Boom, there. So once that was done, it was time to move on to taking off the actual amp part of this combo. I started off by, taking out those 4 screws that cover the back cover to it, which turns out I didn't need to remove the back cover, but, I just needed to hit these 2 top screws right here, and then 2 screws on the side, 1 on each side, in order to take the cab off, or the actual amp part out. And, the reason why I did this was because it was easier to solder with the actual amp part out. So there I am removing those last 2 screws, and it came out, but also because it was so close to the magnet, it got stuck on the magnet, as you can see right there. Boom. But after unscrewing it and disconnecting it, it was time to solder. So let's move on outside. And as you can see right here, I'm getting ready to solder. The first thing I did was, I believe it's called tinning the ends of the wires after I got set up. And what tinning is right here, that's what I'm doing, is you put some solder on the cables first before even attempting to solder. So that way, when you're ready to solder, all you got to do, they're already primed and ready. You just got to put them on. As you can see right there, tinning both sides of both wires. And then now came the crucial part, making sure I connected the positive of the speaker to the negative of the cable, and then the negative of the cable to the positive speaker. And as you can tell right there, that white wire, which I believe is the positive, the tin, I didn't put enough soldering on to get it to stick, so had to redo that. And then once it's done soldering, just give it a quick pull to make sure it was nice, safe. And yeah, after that, just put the solder back, unplugged it and put it on the sponge, or not put it on the sponge, but let it cool down. Then just came the part of reassembling. As you can see, I already had the back plate back on. Like I said, I didn't need to take that off, but just 4 screws. And yeah, that was it. And the reason why I did this is because I didn't have a spot to place the cab, or the amp section, so might as well just put it back on. All right, that's it. Well, guys, wow. Wow. Just wow. I have to admit, this right here holds up pretty nicely. This right here, amazing. In that last, well, in the playthrough, I'm not a drummer, but you guys were able to see, this sub kick really picks up that low end and allows the bass drum that big thump. And like you can tell with my T-Bone drum kit mic set, the bass drum, it was nice. You know, it was there, kind of very thin though, very thin, light and attacky. But when you add in this sub kick, that thump, boom, 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 it was there. Now, like I said, I didn't wire in a switch or anything like that for the pad, but this right here was, I have a pad on my interface, so I just padded that as it went in, and that right there really got this thing under control, made sure it wasn't clipping all that badly. So yeah, I was really, really happy with this. Like I said, an old 8-inch 10-watt speaker, not speaker, but combo cab that I had lying around. It did work, as you guys saw. It did work, but having to fiddle around with it, but you know, this makes a great sub kick, and with this form fixture, it being a combo cab, a combo amp, you know, made it really nice and easy to position. You know, don't have to get another stand for this. I do have to get another one of these small stands for because I only have one, and as you guys saw, or maybe you didn't, but the bass drum mic was sitting on top of this, which is cool. You know, it wasn't going anywhere, but just in case I want to move the bass drum around, it's better that I have another mic stand dedicated for that rather than just sitting it on this. But what did you guys think about this sub kick? Like I said, very simple to wire up. You know, it provides low end for when recording acoustic drums, and it was just great. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys actually have a sub kick, or if you made one. Well, guys, that's all the time we have for today. I hope this video was helpful. And until next time, I'm Black Boy in a Band. And remember, keep practicing. Well, guys, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, jot them down in the comment section below. I'll throw up some more videos that I think you guys might like. One that's my last video, and just another video. Also, feel free to subscribe. I do put out new content every other Tuesday, or at least I try to in these crazy times. Also, go ahead and like this video. That helps me out. And, you know, go ahead, share this video if you think it might help someone else out. Once again, guys, thanks for all you do. I'm Black Boy in a Band, and just remember, keep practicing.